Hari Om. So this chapter begins with Arjuna's question. He asks 7 questions. The first 6 questions about the nature or the various facets of that supreme reality. And the last question is about how one can attain that supreme or know that supreme even at the time of death. So Bhagavan replies, he talks about briefly, he indicates what is Brahma. That same Brahma is Adhyatma or Atma. Then that Brahma, creative power of that Brahma, because of which it produces or creates or projects this world with all beings, is called Karma. And all the world with its changing nature is called Adhibhut. And the one who controls this world, the Lord of the world, is called Adhidaiva. And one who is performing this action as an individual, Adhiyajna, is called Adhiyajna, the Jiva. So all these are various expressions of that one supreme reality. Bhagavan says that at the time of death, one who remembers me, the Supreme, and leaves this body, he attains me, he attains my nature. So, antakale cha mameva smaran muktva kalevaram yap prayati samad bhavam yati na asti atra samshayaha. There is no doubt about it, because as we think, as our conviction, so we become. Even in this life itself, our the way we move in life depends on our thoughts. As we think, so we become. As we think, we act, we feel, and ultimately we become also like that. So a person who lives this world having a particular type of thought, having a particular philosophy of life, having some conviction, so based on that will be determined the future life form. So this is the law. Now Bhagavan had said that those who think about me, they attain me. But what about others who don't think of God or don't remember God? What about them? So Bhagavan explains what happens to them in the next verse. Yam yam vapi smaran bhavam tyajantyante kalevaram tam tamevaiti kaunteya sada tad bhava bhavitaha yam yam vapi smaran bhavam tyajantyante kalevaram tam tamevaiti kaunteya sada tad bhava bhavitaha. This is not only true about remembering God and attaining Him, but whatever we remember at the time of death, we attain that. So yam yam va api smaran bhavam, whatever be our feeling, whatever be our thinking, whatever be our conviction, at the time of death, constantly remembering it, being in tune with it. When one leaves this body, tejanti ante kalevaram, kalevaram is this body, one leaves this body, then tam tam eva eti kaunteya, one attains that and that alone. Whatever level of our evolution, we attain the body as per that only. This is the law. This is not something that somebody else is there who checks our record and gives the result. This is just the law of nature. That as per our thinking, because that is what our sukshma sharir is, the mind, the intellect, and also the karan sharir, all the impressions of our past. So based on that only one goes and attains the future life form. That future life form can be as a human being or can be like an animal, bird, or one can also attain the Devata Sharir. Whatever is, anything is possible. Depending on our samskar and conviction, what is the best form suitable to express those, we get that form. If we want to just, our conviction is that I want to just indulge in pleasures and nothing higher in life, just khao, pio and just be happy, just gain some pleasures of the senses, then once the body is dropped, then that particular body which is only equipped to give maximum pleasure is attained. No thinking faculty is required. No special other faculty is required. Optimum, that is what nature is. It gives us what is best for us, so that no wastage of energy, no wastage of unnecessary, those features are not there. Like many times we buy some new mobile and lot of features are there which we don't even know what they are, first of all. And even if we know, we don't know how to use them. And even if we know how to use them, we don't want them. What to do with those features? There are certain features which are totally useless. But they are there. All various types of applications are there. What to do with them? You never use them. So then the best is to get a equipment which is best suited for me. I just want to get call from others and make calls. But then get a simple equipment. Similarly, this is a very sophisticated equipment. A human body is the most sophisticated equipment designed for enlightenment. Special feature of this human body is that it is designed specially for enlightenment. That is its speciality. Other things we can do. Like for example, I have computer. I can use it for so many other things. Even those big computers and all, it can be used as to keep my tea also. But it is designed for a particular purpose. Similarly, this human equipment is considered to be the best. And the Upanishads also say that even Devtas, their body is also not suitable for enlightenment, but a human body is suitable. It has got some features. We have the experience of both joy as well as sorrow as a human being. We know the very depth of sorrow and we know the very height of joy. Human body is equipped with so many facilities. We have our mind, we have our intellect. Intellect has got the capacity to discriminate, to understand what is real and what is unreal. And the most interesting feature, we have the unique capacity to shift our attention to ourselves and ask this question, who am I? No other animal asks this question. You check. Dog, cat, rat, mat. Mat is not an animal, I think. But any animal, they don't ask who am I and all. A dog will, who is this fellow who is trying to come into my house? So he doesn't ask who am I. In fact, some dog specialists and all, they say that dog at home, he thinks that I am the boss and all others are my subordinates. Like that is their psychology. That I am these are my pack and I am the leader of the pack. But they don't ask the question, who am I? They don't ask the question, who is God? They don't ask the question, what is the meaning of life? What is bondage? What is freedom? How can I be free from all limitation? What is the very essence of my being? That is not asked by other animals. Human beings have got the capacity to ask and to find the answer, to experience the answer. And this is true not only now, but from time immemorial. Gautam Buddha asked this question, who am I? What is the meaning of life? What is sorrow? Why there is sorrow? How one can eliminate that sorrow? And he found the answer. Mahavir, he found the answer. So many great Mahatmas of the past and the present, they seek to know the truth and they find it. So this is a special feature of a human body. If it is used, just as in our body also what limbs we don't use, they slowly get disintegrated. You stop using a particular limb, it slowly becomes weak and gets disintegrated. Yeah? It is true to all the features that we don't use the faculty given to us to gain that state of enlightenment. It is to slowly disintegrate or it is taken away in our next birth. We are given the equipment which is best suited for us. Simple incoming and outgoing calls we can make. Food coming in and food going out, that much only is required. Then that type of body is given. Simple garbage in, garbage out body. But if we utilize this, then we get that body. It is not that, again I am saying that not that some Bhagwan or some person is sitting there checking our list. No, it's a natural law. These are all natural law, like laws of physics. They are just natural. If you add two chemicals, they react in a particular way. Not that somebody goes there and tells them, oh, you react in this way or that way. It is the nature of those chemicals to react in that way. Similarly, it's a natural law that whatever we think, whatever we are convinced about, that type of life we get in future. Therefore, Bhagavan says, yam yam va api smaran bhavam. Whatever be our bhav, whatever be our thoughts or conviction we are smaran. Smaran means remembering. See, the thing about remembrance is that what I have experienced before, that only I can remember. I cannot remember what is not experienced. I cannot remember your childhood. If you say, oh, please remember my childhood, how can I remember your childhood? I can remember my childhood. I can remember what I have experienced. I can remember my dream. I can remember my deep sleep state because I have experienced them. The one who experiences alone can remember. Now here it is said in the previous verse, one who remembers God and leaves the body. That means one has experienced or one has understood. One cannot remember God suddenly just like that. One has to constantly contemplate and try to experience the presence of God when we are alive. And that experience of the presence of God should be maintained at all times, because that is what is called remembrance. That as the experience is, same when we bring it again in the present, that is called memory. Yeah? And sometimes that memory becomes so powerful, people start crying again or they start laughing again when that memory comes, or that fear is created again. Yeah? Suppose you had experienced some very frightening experience and you tell that story, again you get scared and all. If there is a joyous experience you remember, then you again feel very happy about it. Yes. And one who remembers the sad incident of life, again they become sad. There are some people who keep telling sad stories and they keep crying also. Now they are very happy. They have a hot cup of coffee in their hand, nicely sitting in their room. Then some neighbor comes. They ask, so how that thing happened 20 years ago, please tell. So she tells or he tells, and while tells in such minute detail that again he starts experiencing it. Tears start rolling down and it falls into the coffee cup also. And the whole scene is this. And the grandchild comes and wonders, what happened? Daddy, what happened? Why are you crying? Everything is fine, but we remember. So that memory is a most fascinating thing which we have. I think animals also might be having, I don't know, I don't remember, but human being, we have this wonderful thing called memory. And we generally make wrong use of it. Keep on thinking of something, remembering something which is useless only. Bhagavan says, you remember me. And to remember God, we have to first listen. We have to hear about God. We have to contemplate about God. We have to feel His presence. We have to experience Him in whatever way. Then that experience we have to remember. Remember doesn't mean that just vaguely some. And many times people remember God. Remembering means they have some image like photograph and all, and that they remember. Photograph is not God. Some people have nice picture and all this. Oh, my Krishna, my Rama and Govinda and all. You have to remember God, not his photograph. Like suppose your mother is remembering the son. She might take the help of the photograph, but she remembers him, not the photograph. See, understand this. She shows the picture. Oh, this is when we had gone to the picnic. This is when he fell down and then he broke his teeth. This is when his father fell down and broke his teeth. This is me collecting all the teeth. So like that, she remembers the incident, not the, not the photograph. Anyway, all funny things. So this is memory. We can take help of photographs to help us to recall our memory. Photograph, image, name of God is taken as a help, as an aid to recall memory. We need certain things which suddenly brings that memory. You see a flower and you remember something. You get a fragrance and you remember certain things. So those are the aids which help us to bring that memory back in the present moment. So memory is the same experience which we had in the past coming again exactly as it is in the present moment. That is called memory. So Bhagavan says whatever memory you have or whatever you bring to your attention, whatever conviction you have at the time of death, if not about that Supreme Lord, but whatever other feelings and convictions you might have while dying, you attain that. You go to that bhava only. Tam tame vaiti kaunteya sada tad bhava bhavitaha. Because constantly you are meditating on that only. See, at the time of death, the deepest our convictions the deepest impressions they surface. And one leaves this world with that deepest impressions. At the moment of death, certain superficial thoughts or feelings might come, but when we live with the deepest impressions which are there, which are very strong. There is a very interesting story in the Ramayana about Sati, Lord Shiva and Sati. So Sati, she goes to her father's place, Daksha Prajapati, and there she finds that her Lord Shiva was insulted. They had not offered proper things to him, and she felt very bad. Long story is there, I am just briefly telling you. And she curses her own father, and she says that I don't want even this body which is associated with you, who has insulted my husband. I want to drop this body here and now. She invokes the yoga agni, the fire of yoga. Means there is fire in our body. She doesn't need any external fire. She just activates that fire only to burn her body. But before that, she brings to her mind not anger for her this father, not any other thought, but she brings to her mind, she says that may I be born again as a female, and may I again attain Lord Shiva. That thought she brings, firm conviction, and she burns the body. And she is born as Parvati. And right from childhood, she had that fascination for Lord Shiva. She performed special tapas. Shiva had decided not to marry. He said, one marriage is enough. Again and again, I don't want to marry. So Shiva had decided not to marry, so he was just sitting and meditating whole day. But Parvati, she took a vow that I will marry Lord Shiva only. And she did vigorous tapas, so strong that Lord Shiva had to change his mind and get married to her. So this is the power of our thought, power of our conviction. It's very powerful. Actually, the whole world runs by thoughts only. Even hands run by thoughts actually. Without thoughts, hands also can't move. You have come here by the power of thoughts, not by the power of the body. The whole, whatever be the weight of your body, I don't know, the whole body gets up and moves. Why? By the power of thoughts. I decide to move and the body moves. Body is just matter. So this thoughts, and in all those thoughts, our feelings, and again in all thoughts, our convictions are very strong. Convictions they can change, transform the person instantly. If my conviction changes, I change. Many times people meet with some accident, or they get into some very strange experiences and all, and that experience lead to their change in conviction. They suddenly get convinced about certain fundamental truth about life, and they are different people altogether. I have met one person who met with an accident, near death experience, he almost died, but then again he revived and all, and that experience totally transformed him. He was different before and became totally a transformed person. Why? Because that experience changed his convictions about life. There are many people who have some very fatal disease or something, and that whole thinking process changes. Their understanding of life and death, God, life, everything changes, and they become totally different. So conviction is very important. Conviction is like the seed. And based on the conviction, our thoughts and feelings and all arises. Superficially trying to change our thoughts and change our feeling, retaining the conviction may not help much. If I am convinced you are Buddhu, however much I try to, sometimes the parents actually they give आशीर्वाद to their children, हाँ आप अच्छी तरह से एग्ज़ाम दे दोगे, सब कुछ ठीक हो जाएगा. Inside that father is feeling this fellow is Buddha only. He has not studied properly. He is like me. I don't think he will pass. But outwardly he says, हाँ आशीर्वाद मेरा है आपके साथ है. But his conviction is something else. Even in arguments and all, even if it is proved to you that you are wrong, but if you are convinced about your wrong notions and all, you will not accept that argument. Conviction plays a very important role. So we remember at the time of death our convictions, our strong philosophies, our deepest desires and all. And when we die with that, Bhagavan says one attains that. Tam tama eva eti kaunteya, he kaunteya. You are born also to Kunti. That is also by this type of grace only, because of this type of thinking. So sada tad bhava bhavitaha, because constantly when one thinks about a particular thing, we tend to move towards it. We go towards it. So thoughts are very important. One should be very careful about thoughts. Thoughts actually they keep getting influenced by the world around us. They keep getting influenced by the various experiences we get in life. They get influenced by everything, whatever we read, we hear, we speak, we see, everything influences our thoughts. And they keep modifying, changing and all. And they affect our deeper convictions also. So the idea about all of you coming here for satsang and all, to strengthen our positive convictions. Satsang plays a very important role in strengthening our positive, sublime convictions. Even though we might say, yes, I believe and all, but that my conviction may not be strong. But when we continuously do satsang, then our positive convictions become more and more strong and firm. Then we will not be shaken away from our path. So tam tamayva iti kaunteya sada tadbhava bhavitaha. So if one thinks of God, one attains Him, and if one thinks of something else, then one attains that. That is the law of nature. Therefore, what we should do if we want to attain the Supreme, what should we do? Throughout our life, what we should do? Bhagavan says a very important verse number 7. Tasmat sarveshu kaleshu mamanusmara yudhyacha mayyarpitamano buddhihi